and welcome to this virtual adaptation of the 2020 Irvine Candidates Forum. My name is Kevin Corrigan, and it has been my great honor and privilege to have been a part of the planning, hosting, and moderating of this event. Joining me today is Louis Huang, one of the 4 candidates for Irvine Mayor. At this time, I will turn to Louis Huang for his opening statement.
Well, thank you, Kevin. Thank you for inviting me. You and your group is actually really your group and individuals like yourself, people who are passionate about Irvine, passionate about our community, is exactly the reason I put my bid in for the mayoral candidacy race. I am just like yourself and so many here in Irvine. I just care so passionately about the city, that I care so passionately about. There's so much need out there, especially, I don't need to remind everyone that we're in this very historic year and we have these historic issues. I am in what I've been doing the last 3 months, Kevin, is I have been trying to be out there for my friends. I am trying to be a voice to, unfortunately, a voice to the voiceless. And, you told me just earlier that you're in high school right now. So 16, 17-year-olds technically can't vote. So you don't have a voice, unfortunately, Kevin. And yet a lot of 16, 17-year-olds, they have part-time jobs. A lot of 16, 17-year-olds pay taxes. Everyone who makes a purchase in Irvine pays taxes. There's sales tax, right? So you're a contributing member to society, and I believe everyone should have a voice in our representative government and our local government. And the tax dollars that we spend there should be our elected officials should listen to our voices. And I can assure you, because I've been in this for a number of years now, I've been in the politics game, they don't care about my voice, they don't care about your voice, unfortunately, and the only way for them to care is we make them care. So that's why I'm on here today. I'm so happy to be speaking with you, Kevin, and I'm so happy to be able to just have a conversation, because this is how we get things to improve here in Irvine.
The City of Irvine City Council plays a major role in allocating any dollars that are provided to the City of Irvine. If you received a $1 million grant to use for the city any way you wanted, what would you do with it and why?
I will look at who has the most need in Irvine, and right now what I have seen with my own eyes, with my own experiences, with the stories of my friends who are renters in Irvine, that's where we have the greatest need. If I have $1 million, Kevin, that is where I will devote that grant money to. It is to help the renters of Irvine. We have a housing crisis that is historic, that's never been seen before, and the worst is yet to come. And I don't want my friends who are currently renting a really expensive place in Irvine, trying to make ends meet, trying to pay all the bills. I don't want them to have to be thrown to the streets. I don't want them to have to sleep in their cars. There's lots of stories, especially here in Orange County. There's been well-publicized stories of people who have left their apartment and stopped renting because they can't afford the rent, and they sleep in their cars, and they take showers by going to the gym, and they go to Starbucks for Wi-Fi. And that is we're talking about here in California, in Orange County, in the year 2020. I get absolutely livid knowing that that's happening to my friends and family and my neighbors here in Irvine and in Orange County and in California. So that is where I will place the grant money. It's going to help those who need it the most.
Authorities say 80% of human trafficking cases end up in Orange County because it is an affluent community. How will you bring awareness to this uncomfortable topic if given the opportunity to sit on the City of Irvine City Council? and provide comfort to survivors of this activity?
Wow, yes, that is a very heady topic, and I will be perfectly honest, I am not the subject matter expert on this. I will tell you what, I feel like the resources here that we have in Orange County and in Irvine, that we should have solutions. We should have social services. There should be plenty of solutions to help address this very, for people who feel like this is a important enough issue, we should have solutions for it. Uh, if we, if I will reach out to the people who understand this policy issue the most, I will find out from them what are these solutions, and I will bring it into the city of Irvine. Do we need a human trafficking city of Irvine task force? Do we need to work with the sheriff's department? Do we need to work with Irvine Police Department? I assume yes. Do we need to work with the FBI? Do we need to work with, you know, the DA office? There's so many, when it involves such an intricate topic, I'm open for any solutions, and the general fund and Irvine taxpayer money, I make it available because it's such an important issue. Good question.
As you may know, the City of Irvine anticipates a $20 million deficit. If elected, what 3 steps would you take to put our city on a firmer financial footing and help eliminate longer-term city fiscal impacts of COVID-19?
First of all, I did not know that. I did not know we're facing 20 million. The latest numbers I did not think was anywhere close to 20 million, which I believe when I last checked, I think the city budget for city of Irvine is approximately $200 million. So for us to be 10% in the hole, that is concerning. Here's the solution: Prop 15. Yes, on Prop 15, it's been my central campaign issue. We need it. It is basically taxing commercial property owners with more than $3 million in asset valuation. It is taxing them a fair rate that is based on their fair market value. This is exactly, the largest landowners in California. You can name them off the top of your head. Disneyland, Trump Holdings has over $1 billion here in California, give or take. Even Irvine Company, they own so much property here, yet they're being taxed at a very, very low rate because of the tax loopholes that came about because of Prop 13. So biggest key central issue, let's pass Prop 15, and that's where we're going to have money for funding Irvine Unified School District, and that's where we're going to cover the $20 million easily. That's collectively, yes, on Prop 15 will collectively reclaim $10 to $12 billion every single year. These are billions of dollars that these largest corporations have been getting away with. So yes, on Prop 15, join me. Thank you.
In regards to the Veterans Cemetery, which has been a seemingly endless discussion in the city of Irvine, do you support building a veterans cemetery in Irvine, California? And what steps, if any, would you take to make sure that this process continues to move forward in a direction that will result in honoring Orange County veterans and providing them with a final resting place for their bravery and service to the United States of America?
I'm going to say something controversial, Kevin, especially here in Irvine. I don't care. I'm beyond caring. This is such a political issue that it's the special interests are involved. Yes, veteran cemetery. Yes, we need to honor our veterans. Yes, I have lots of friends who I did not myself serve in military service, but I have a lot of friends who did, and I have the utmost respect for them. But this issue has been so politicized, and there's so many special interests who are trying to get a little, trying to work their way. No, we've already had a voter referendum on this. Let's have the voters of Irvine decide. Let's put it again to another vote. Just list all the options and let's get it out there, and let's have the people of Irvine vote again in 2 years, in 2022. Let's have people vote again. I have very little skin in the game. My parents are first generation here. My grandparents, the ones who are still alive are over in overseas. They're not even in the United States. So I have very little skin in the game. Let's put it to a democratic vote, and let's let the people decide.
The city of Irvine has more affordable housing units than any other city in Orange County and has made it a priority to assist renters struggling as a result of COVID-19. As living costs within the city boundaries continue to rise, how do you plan on assisting those who may be struggling? Do you think affordable housing is a solution to Irvine's homelessness crisis? And if not, what are some possible solutions that you might bring to the table?
It's very simple, Kevin. Again, very good question. Affordable housing and rental housing crisis and renters' rights has been it's been another key issue of mine. If anything, it might be my central issue because it's all interrelated. I studied economics in college. It's simple supply and demand. There is not enough supply and everyone wants to live in Irvine. We have it good here. So it's supply and demand. Here's my solution. There's plenty of development that is being targeted towards the big developers. No, let's break it up. Let's break up the monopoly. Let's have some small mom and pop developers, $1 to $10 million property values. Have them have these development options. Let's open up some mom and pop operations. And what's that's going to happen? Well, they're going to come in. They're going to build their 2-unit apartments. They're going to build their 4-unit apartments. They're going to build their 10, 15-unit apartments. And they're going to democratize a little bit and have a little bit of competition here in Irvine. It's not just Irvine company that owns all the apartments here. And guess what? Well, when they build it, they're going to hire small mom and pop electricians. They're going to hire small mom and pop masonry and foundation layers and bricklayers, and it's going to foster a lot of good stuff. But more importantly, getting back to the central issue at hand, well, once you have a lot more of these options for people to live, well, naturally supply and demand comes in, and housing prices will fall down a little bit. Right, and then it becomes, well, how many of these units can we put in? Well, when you get the big developers out of this, and I know I want to spend extra time on this because it's such a big issue, and it's not a conservative issue, it's not a liberal issue, it's not a Republican or Democrat. I've had so many great conversations with people where they centrally see it as like, well, let's get the influence away from the big developers. We already have so many big developments here. Let's break it up. Let's have some capitalism. Let's have some free market economics. So that's the way we do it. We set aside plots of land for small mom and pop operations. It's going to foster small businesses naturally, and prices will fall naturally because of supply and demand.
In recent months, the city of Irvine and the nation have been faced by several challenges. What do you see as the single biggest challenge for the city of Irvine going into 2021?
Well, I'm going to harp on it like a broken record. Housing crisis, renters' rights commission, my friends being thrown out in the streets. Yes, there's eviction freeze, but my friends don't want to ruin their housing record. They don't want to, they need to keep renting. So they can't have their the references broken because they weren't able to afford it and they had to leave or be evicted. It's really, Irvine has so many benefits, but we go about trying to make this a beautiful city for everyone, but it's actually not a beautiful city for everyone, because when you look at these amazing friends of mine who are working class families, they have everyone in their family under one roof. They got their grandmas, their grandpas, they got the grandchildren all under one roof. Everyone's working very, very hard to keep that standard of living so that their kids can be in a nice, safe neighborhood. They can enjoy Irvine Unified School District. It goes back to housing. We need to focus. I have asked my friends in local government. I've requested with Farrakhan. I've talked to Tammy Kim about this. I've talked to Lauren Johnson about this. Um, we need a renters' rights commission. Let's have a renters' rights commission so that no longer will there be landlords in Orange County. This is going to be for all 34 cities in Orange County, starting here in Irvine. A renters' rights commission. No longer can a shady landlord illegally, right, break the laws illegally by taking security deposits, by forcing evictions, by doing all the shady stuff that apartment owners have been known to do. Let's have a renters' rights commission. Let's document these abuses. I don't want another friend of mine to come and say that their apartment manager took an extra $400 out of the security deposit because of some trumped up thing about needing to clean the house and the apartment and BS like that. It's illegal and it's wrong, and we need a renters' rights commission here in Irvine and in every city. And let's expand it to California and every city in the United States. Renters' rights commission.
City council members each appoint a commissioner to the Planning Commission. Will your planning commissioner utilize flex growth tools such as marginal cost pricing, voluntary open space protection, and more flexible zoning codes that allow mixed-use developments, or execute smart growth policies that force citizens to conform to politically determined lifestyles?
That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't studied the topic too closely. I'll find some good people, and if I have the opportunity and the fortune to be in local government here in Irvine, I have a pretty good judge of character, and I know who the good people are because I talk to them and I hear all these stories about who you can tell, people who genuinely want to do good things. You know about who the good commissioners are because they do the right things when nobody's watching. And these are, I'm going to find the most ethical people. I'm going to find the most caring and compassionate people. And they're just gonna listen to all the concerns of our amazing residents here, and they're gonna do what they think is right. And I'm gonna trust them because of their character and because ultimately they're all just trying to do good.
The Irvine Unified School District is one of the lowest funded districts of its size within the state of California. While the two entities are separate, without good schools, everyone's property values plummet. What will you do to build a positive working relationship with the school district?
Easiest solution, yes on Prop 15. That devotes 40% of $10 billion. So roughly $4 billion will be distributed to all the, I think we have like 500 school districts here in California. That's $4 billion to divvy it out. I'm going to work with the state assembly members. I'm going to work with the state Senate members. We're going to get our piece of this tax revenue that is coming in. I'm not a subject matter expert on IUSD. I'm gonna ask you, Kevin. I'm gonna go directly to the students. I'm gonna go directly to the teachers here. I'm gonna work with everyone at Irvine Unified School District, and I'm gonna look to the leadership of the people that I trust, who are currently running for city council, and the person that I trust who are currently running for mayor. I think you all know who I'm supporting. And I will look to their leadership on how we should make IUSD the best it can. I have very, I don't know all the ins and outs of IUSD, so I really will look to their leadership.
Leadership in the city of Irvine is known to have a strong relationship with its community developers. During your term, do you think that building new homes and commercial space, or rehabbing, expanding, and better utilizing our existing homes and commercial space will be of greater importance? Has any major community developer contributed to your current campaign, and would this contribution influence this decision?
I have not received a single dollar from anyone. I have purposely delayed my fundraising efforts. I am 100% self-financed. I paid the $1,200 filing fee with the city of Irvine out of my own pocket. I don't know why I did that. Well, I know because I wanted to do something for Irvine. And that thing is, one, I have seen with my own eyes who to trust in local government, who I want to be in positions of power. So I am actively advocating for the people that I support. Conversely, I know special interests, especially the big developers here. So 5 Points, right? Irvine Company, they have so much influence because they make billions. They make billions. If you do the math on they rent approximately 100,000 units here in Irvine, and each unit is approximately $2,100. You do the math. I've done it. It's billions. They make billions every single month off of just the rental properties. We're not even talking about the leasing for the small businesses that we have. We need to take back power just for the people. We cannot have government just represent the rich and the powerful. Anaheim, let's talk about Anaheim, right? The mayor over there in Anaheim, they sold the Anaheim Angels Stadium for $150 million. It's worth $1 billion easily. So they sold it at a huge discount because of why? Because of the rich and the powerful there. They run all of local governments, and people like the people of Anaheim, like the good residents of Irvine, well, our interests are being completely ignored. And a lot of times our interests are being, paved over for the interest of what the executive suite over at Irvine Company, in the C-suite level for people who run 5 Points. No, it's BS, and I'm sick of it.
The City of Irvine has delivered a thorough response to COVID-19. If you currently held a seat on the City of Irvine City Council, is there something that you would have done differently?
No, I'm perfectly happy about it. Me and my family, we feel perfectly safe because of the steps that the leadership, and credit goes to the mayor, credit goes to city council members. I applaud them for their efforts because they wanted to keep everyone safe, and the only way we can keep everyone safe is by doing all this. The one thing I will say is, that whole face mask giveaway, it was a huge debacle. I saw the lines wrap around. Some people waited for 90 minutes in line, and that was a tremendous waste of government resources, because you had teams and teams of IPD officers on staff, all working on weekends at a above normal pay rate. That was a huge, colossal slip up. If I were on city council, or if I was in the mayor's seat, I would not have done that. I would have just mailed it all out to everyone. Kevin, if you need some face masks, I will mail it. I will mail a package out to you. Nice, clean, sanitary, and no one has to wait in the car line, and no one has to all that toxic fumes that we're pulling into the air, and frustration, and not everyone drives, so that's a discrimination. So mail it to people who want a box of face masks. Super simple.
With diversity, inclusion, and belonging being such an important topic, how do you plan on addressing this issue, improving racial relations, eradicating any institutionalized racism in the city of Irvine, and making sure the burden does not fall only on those with diverse backgrounds? In recent months, many residents have brought attention to the national issue of racism. Do you believe the city of Irvine has a problem with racism that needs to be addressed, and what kinds of policies, if any, will you pursue to promote social and racial justice in our community?
Okay, so let's speed around this. Yes, we need a diversity council, some sort of diversity advisory council at City Hall, at the city council level. Two, we need a little bit more representation in city government, specifically Irvine Police Department. I will encourage and I will work with the Chief of Police, Mike Hamill, on having a little bit more diversity. And on top of that, let's have some more multilingualism. Let's have some Korean speaking officers. Let's train officers to speak some Espanol, se habla español, por favor. Let's have some more, Chinese speaking, Russian speaking. Let's have a little bit more of a diversity and multi-language. That's my answer.
What measures would you support to reduce the effects of climate change on public health? How can the city reduce its dependence on fossil fuels and reduce its carbon footprint? And should reports from the council's Environmental Advisory Council be a regular item on the City of Irvine City Council agenda?
It is very simple. I've done solar for 10 years now. I graduated from UC San Diego and I jumped into it. My first internship working for a solar power manufacturing plant, building American-made solar here in San Diego, here in California. CCE, let's pass, let's implement it, let's execute it, let's stop stalling around on it. Saves $10 million, first year of implementation. Community choice energy, CCE, let's get it done. Two, Irvine should be the leader in community choice energy. Let's have Irvine, with our 280,000 amazing residents, let's lead the way in Orange County. Let's be the clean energy leader. Let's be the CCE leader. Let's have the most solar and wind in our city. We can do that, and I'm looking to the mayor of Irvine to do that. Let's be the number one. Let's not be last place. Let's be the leader here in Irvine right now in Orange County. Let's do it. Two, let's have a massive investment in solar. Let's put it on every school. Let's put it on every public building. Let's have a massive investment in it because solar is actually very, very affordable right now. If you put in $1 million worth of solar, you're going to get a 3x multiplier out of it. You're going to make millions back from the free electricity. Right. So one, obviously, I'll say again, community choice energy. Two, let's have a massive reinvestment into Irvine. Every public building here in Irvine, every building that Irvine owns, even plots of land. If we have plots of land, let's put solar in because the energy savings that you get from it. So let's say you put $1 million in solar investment on top of Northwood High School. If you put in $1 million, guess what? There's going to be a 3x multiplier from the energy savings. So if you put in $1 million, you're actually going to end up saving $3 million over the lifetime of that system, which is rated for 25 years. So let's CCE and let's put solar in every building in Irvine.
Many economists suggest that the average small business has been struck hardest by COVID-19. Some have already had to close their doors. What will you do to support a vibrant economy in our area, and how will you work to increase job opportunities for your constituents?
Small Business Council. Let's have a small business council here in Irvine. It will have an advisory role. It will be responsible for being keeping a pulse on the situation here in Irvine. There's probably some statistic out there on how many small business owners there are. Let's say 10,000 small business owners. Well, each and every one of that small business, it's a lot of it is family business. A lot of it, it's a head of the household being the small business owner. These are valuable contributors to our economy, valuable contributors to our community. We need to watch out for them. So let's have a small business advisory council.
If someone came to you with a proposal to build a new piece of public infrastructure in our city, such as a road or bridge, how would you evaluate whether that project was worth implementing? And when you hear about something that concerns you in the city, what steps would you take to see that this concern is resolved?
I'm an economist. I do a cost-benefit analysis. I find out how many people this new service or this new program will help. I will defer because I'm such a busy person. I will delegate this to my planning commissioners. Simple.
Over the past several years, the LGBTQ plus community has fought for inclusivity within the greater Irvine community. Do you have any ideas, plans, proposals to make all minority communities who may feel neglected by other levels of government a part of our city government and included in the Irvine community? Do you think that symbols such as flying the pride flag and city council recognitions of our minority communities make residents feel welcomed, included, and proud to be a part of our diverse city?
Very good, very important question. Honestly, this is kind of irrelevant for anyone under the age of, let's say, 40, because no, my generation, I'm 34. LGBT is just we all just support it because our friends are LGBT. Um, this is an issue of, okay, well, if you're of the older generation and you've been brought up to think that LGBT is unnatural or wrong or whatever negative feelings. I mean, this is essentially a very non-issue. So yeah, let's fly the flag and let's have LGBT representation for city government and city officials, and let's have LGBT on diversity council. Let's have LGBT mayor. Let's have a LGBTQ plus as mayor. Let's have them. It would be great if there's some representation at city council. Let's have it all.
While the offices within the City of Irvine City Council are currently held by a majority of women, this same representation is not true within the workplace and throughout the community. What, if any, specific steps will you take to address inequalities facing women in the United States?
Let's have free preschool for everyone in Irvine. Mothers, I'm hoping, should never have to worry about and make the painful decision. Should I go to work and get a income, or do I figure out a way to take care of my child while I'm at work? No, let's have free programs here in Irvine for free childcare for everyone.
How does public safety rank on your list of priorities? Do you envision a larger police or fire department? What does your support look like right now? And upon being elected, how would you look to assist the Irvine Police Department in its mission of working in partnership with the community, preserving the peace, and upholding the law with fairness?
I love Irvine Police Department. They've kept our neighborhood safe. They're amazing contributors to our society. Here's where I stand on IPD. Let's have a hiring freeze. We don't need more armed police officers. Let's keep the staffing level at 200. I will implement a pilot program for every hiring freeze. Let's hire more part-time peace officers. Let's have part-time community officers that are tasked. They're unarmed. They're dressed in a polo, dressed in jeans or khakis. Something comfortable, and they're responsible for going out into the community and build. It's all about building relationships in the community, reaching out to small business, reaching out to neighbors, reaching out to high school students like yourself. And ultimately, I believe if we have more of these peace officers, community officers, it will actually just completely deter crime, or at the very least, it will reduce crimes and prevent them from even happening.
The City of Irvine City Council also has the opportunity to sit on the Orange County Great Park Board. Do you find concern with any current projects or plans? And are there any projects that you would propose or hope to see come to fruition?
I don't really know the details, but this is what I like to see over there. I like to see a hub. I like to see something similar to Anaheim packing house. I like to see something like I recently visited out in Stanton. They call it Rodeo 39. I like to see what Tustin has implemented over at the district. I just want a cool place with a lot of amazing food, some nice bars. I think I saw a tattoo artist with running a shop there. I like to have just really creative, really good energy place for people to hang out. A frequent complaint I've heard over and over again from people, your age and my age, is there's nothing to do in Irvine. Well, let's have something to do. Let's bring some amazing artists and small business owners, and let's invite them, and let's have a nice welcoming space over at, I guess, Great Parks. Let's do something fun and creative with that space.
Some people in our community say that we have traffic problems. What do you think? How would you mitigate those concerns or change the situation? Are there certain transportation options that you would suggest limiting? And are there any that you would want to make more readily available and promote greater use of?
Yeah, these people are spoiled because Irvine traffic speeds through. I've lived in a lot of places in LA and Orange County. Irvine's one of the most efficient traffic. Everyone's going down these 45 speed limits, 50 speed limits. A lot of times people are speeding 60, 75 on these. It's like a freeway. We have an intricate freeway system. So yeah, don't talk to me about traffic problems in Irvine.
How do you plan to involve residents in the decision-making process in the city of Irvine? What is more important, acting in response to the will of the people, or acting in the way city officials believe is the best course of action?
I think it stems with the people first. I think here's my answer on that. Name, literally name any topic. Let's say something silly, right? I want to implement a Pokemon class for all high schools in IUSD. I want to teach Pokemon skills. Well, if I really truly believe in that, well, I'm gonna get you, Kevin, because you're my good friend. I'm gonna get all these kids on high school. I'm gonna get a whole bunch of people that I met in TikTok. You don't need a lot of people. Let's get 40 people. Let's get 40 people. That's one class. Maybe that's like a class and a half of people. And we go to Irvine City Council, and every day for 1 week, we advocate for a Pokemon training class for Pokemon masters, right? And guess what? People will hear us for that very special issue. We might even make the OC register. We might actually make some press or publicity. It will get the attention of Irvine just because we have 40 people out there every day making hay about this one issue. So you don't even need to vote. You don't even need to be a voter. You don't even need to be a resident. If we get enough people and we get enough support, we can do anything. And the most important thing that we need to realize is we have so much power in our hands, and we can actually change government. We can change local government. We can have exactly the right type of people in there. And if they're not the type of people that we support, well, guess what? We can vote them out every 2 years. So completely democratic. And I want to encourage everyone who's listening right now. Thank you for making it through all my whole interview. This is the biggest thing of my campaign is we have so much power. All we have to do is come together as a community. We have to come together and let's watch out for one another. And guess what? Change will happen. I guarantee it here in Irvine. Let's start it right now, 2020.
As we move toward the conclusion of this episode of the Forum video series, I will turn to Louis Huang for his concluding thoughts.
Thank you for this opportunity. And honestly, anyone who's listening to me right now, thank you, because really I am trying to represent my friends who don't get interviewed. I am trying to represent my friends who will never have anyone ask them. I won't use Kevin as an example, but I know a lot of high school students out there who feel like people don't listen to them. A lot of our younger generation feels that adults in their life are not paying attention to them, and that's not. First of all, I think fundamentally that's not true, because I'm listening to the young generation, and really we are the future. I'm 34, so I'm really old, right? But I'm 34, and we are the future. And I don't care if you are 12 years old. I don't care if you are 8. Kudos for watching a video if you're 8 about a Mario campaign in Irvine. But we have so much power, but we have also so much responsibility. And really, we need to stop. We can keep playing video games. We can keep playing Among Us or Pokemon or whatever is the latest craze. But every once in a while, I think it's important for us to put down our video games, and let's care about the world a little bit. Let's have a little bit of compassion. Volunteer. There's lots of volunteer opportunities out there. Please stay safe. Love, watch out for one another, watch out for your neighbors. Love your family, love your parents, and let's just be the best people that we can be, and let's have a little bit more peace and love in Irvine, and we'll make it through. We'll have a future here.
If you'd like to learn more about Louis Huang, please read the description below. And don't forget to vote on November 3rd, 2020.